Thank you, 10 people, for coming to church. I appreciate it. Luckily, it don't say in the Bible that we have to have a full board present to have church. It doesn't say that we need to call on the board for any of our needs. It says to call on who? Holy. I need you. I need you. Oh, how I need you. Didn't say nothing about call Christy. No. I mean, you can. And I will come running. But your best help comes from where? This thing is stressing me today. Can you tell? So, last week we were in the book of Mark. And we talked about the two women. Well, one was a girl. One was a woman. How they both came from different places in the world. The girl came from a family of privilege. The woman, not so much. The woman had nobody to speak for her, so she walked up to Jesus through a crowd of people, touched the robe, and boom, she was healed. The girl's dad went and said, Jesus, don't heal my daughter, because if you don't, she's going to die. And in both instances, what happened? Regardless of class, regardless of amount of privilege, Jesus showed up and Jesus showed out and did what Jesus does, which is heals people. Sometimes healings are physical. Sometimes healings are emotional. Sometimes healings feel like they take forever and a day to get here. But that's what Jesus was about, making people whole, completely whole. So after those two events, we're still in Mark chapter 6. He left there and returned to his hometown. His disciples came along. On the Sabbath, he gave a lecture in the meeting place. He made a real hit, impressing everyone. We had no idea he was this good, they said. How did he get so wise all of a sudden? So much ability. But in the next breath, they were cutting him down. He's just a carpenter, Mary's boy. We've known him since he was a kid. We know his brothers, James, Justus, Jude, and Simon, and his sisters. Who does he think he is? They tripped over what little they knew about him and fell, sprawling, and they never got any further. Jesus told them, a prophet has little honor in his hometown, among his relatives, on the streets he played in as a child. Jesus wasn't able to do much of anything there. He laid hands on a few sick people and healed them, but that was all. He couldn't get over their stubbornness. He left and made a circuit of the other villages teaching. Okay, y'all. How many of y'all family give y'all trouble? Yeah, buddy. Here we go. Now we're going to talk good stuff. Anybody saw what I posted this week on Facebook? So, my family does not watch Facebook Live. My family does not go and watch any videos of me preaching as far as I know. Why? Because they're like, who the hello Joe is that? What happens? Why is it that people that are closest to us can't see who we are? Why is it that we think we know somebody and because we know them, they can't really be doing good stuff? We know where you come from. Ain't no way God can use you. I hear that one. I get that one, not just from family. But I've heard that one. I know you. I know who you are. I know where you've been. I know what you've done. I know who you've done. You can't do nothing good. Okay, well, sorry, but holy overrules you. And holy says I can. But what is it about these close connections that it's like blinders come on? Why is it that my family looks at me and says, who is that? And how did she become that? And how is it that Jesus goes home and they're like, who does he think he is? We ain't got to listen to him, trying to act like he's better than everybody. And what did he say? He was limited. He couldn't get over their stubbornness. He couldn't do what he was called to do. All that healing stuff, the physical and the mental and the emotional, he couldn't do that to the scale that he had been doing it. Why? Because we know you. What good are you? Boy, we played ball together. Go sit down and shut up. It was that kind of thinking. But why? Why are we that way? Why do we look at people and go, yeah, I know you. Whatever. Go sit down, little girl. Why do we get roadblocks? We're the ones that put them up. I know her. There ain't no way she can do anything good. I know him. There ain't no way he can do anything good. What you mean she preaches? No. Mm-mm. What you mean he preaches? No. Tell him to sit down. And the whole time, Jesus is there, still trying to do Jesus. Still trying to say, I'm here. I'm here to help you. You're broken. I want to mend you. You need to know that there's a new way of doing things, and this new way is nothing but love. How many are sick and tired of hearing Christy talk about love? Me, I'm the only one? Okay. So, he's in his own hometown, and he's trying to tell them, look, you don't have to do what Empire says is right. You don't have to do what everybody else says is right. All you have to do is love your neighbor and love God. You just have to love. So I got to thinking, maybe it's that love that made the hometown not be able to see him. Because Sherry has a theory that people don't change. We disagree a tad. Sherry says the person is who they are, and then something happens that brings it out. Right? So, who knew? I was a preacher trapped in this thing for however long, and then stuff happened, and whoop, here I am. But it wasn't really a change. Like, I didn't have to, like, go, okay, I'm going to go pretend to be this person now and not be that person anymore. It wasn't like that. Jesus is there. They look at Jesus, and they're like, you're just the kid we played in the street with. We don't have to listen to you. We don't know why you sounded so good for a minute there before we remembered who you were. But boy, you need to remember your upbringing and where you come from. Anybody ever been told that? I've been told that. You better remember your upbringing. You better remember who you are. And I'm going, I ain't forgotten. You have forgotten who I am. I've been loud and rowdy my whole life. So why are you surprised that I'm loud and rowdy now? With Jesus, I think what happened, see, Jesus came, they grew up with Jesus, and then all of holy starts busting out of every pore of Jesus, right? Jesus is all about love, is all about healing people, mending people, all about doing good, and they're like, what the hell, Joe, is that? See, something happens when radical love takes over. And that's what it was. It was radical. Why do I say that? Well, because I believe Jesus was radical. He dang sure was not the little boy that played ball with him in the street anymore. Something had happened. Jesus had stood face to face. Jesus had accepted who he was called to be, and Jesus was walking that walk. The only thing that changed is he was saying yes, God, and not no, God. The only thing that changed is he was saying, let me tell y'all what I have found out. This amazing, life-changing love. And they're going, we watched you bust the window with a ball and you trying to talk to us. Whatever, go sit down. It was constant. How many people feel like you can't get over your past? It keeps coming up, slapping you in the face. Every time you try to move in a new direction, every time you try to do something good, there's somebody going, but remember that time that you put that tack in the teacher's chair? Remember that? You ain't no good. You bad. Why are you trying to pretend? So, Jesus went through it, and we go through it. What is wrong? Why is it happening? Is it that on one side it's the radical love component, and on the other side it's I'm not ready for that? Could it be that the resistance is, hey, that's my kid. I'm going to speak for my family. Hey, that's my kid. I raised her. I know every bad thing she's ever done. And now she's standing up, talking about God, talking about the Bible, talking about social justice issues, what in the hello Joe has happened? But is it because they choose not to see the radical love that propels us? Or is it something else? And here's the thing, sometimes we're the people on that end of it, right? We're the ones that are being told, no, you're no good. We remember you from way back in the day. You can't be doing nothing good. We know you. I know who you are, Christy. So you can't be a preacher. You can't follow holy. You can't lead a church. I know you, Christy. Sometimes we're on that side. But sometimes we're the hometown. Sometimes people come to us and they tell us, hey, I feel like there's a holy love fixing to explode. I feel like I'm called to great things, and I would appreciate it if you'd help me figure this out. And then what happens? Instead of being the one on the receiving end of, I know you, there ain't no way. Possibly I'm the one going, Johnny, come on now. I know you. You can't be doing all this. Go sit down. You do it too. If we're honest, we all do it. It's like this vicious cycle that we're stuck in. One minute we're being told we can't be who we're called to be because they know us. The next minute we're going, no, you can't do it. I know who you are. You hush. See? And why is that? I think part of it is because when you're broken and when somebody beats you down so much, one of your very first reactions when somebody comes along wanting to share this radical love, this new thing that God wants to do, your instinct is, well, remember when they told me I couldn't? You can't. Instead of going, okay, I'm on board, let's do that. Let's go do that. You want to go feed the homeless? Let's go do that. You want to go dance in the streets? Y'all can go do that. I'm not going to go do it. I don't dance. But I'll watch y'all dance. And I'll clap for you. But I'm not going to go shake on my thing because it don't do that. So we're in this push and pull kind of thing. One minute we're, stop telling me I can't be who I am. And in the next minute, we're the people that are kind of keeping other people from being able to be who they are. What if we just all agreed? You know what? Radical love can touch every heart, every person, and it can move in many, many ways. So we're just going to sit back and let that happen. We're going to quit saying, no, you can't. I know you. We're not even going to let that enter our vocabulary anymore. From now on, when people say, hey, I feel called to, okay, go do that. Got your back. Praying for you. What else you need? What if that was our reaction? What if when people walked through those doors, the first thing that happened was, hey, how are you doing? And not, do we know who that freak is? Not that we really ever say that. We don't really ever say that. We have one visitor in the place today, so I need to make that clear. We don't really say that. That was just an example. What if radical love propelled everybody? What if it was what ruled everything we did? Not calling any names. Somebody in here before church started talking about how they didn't vote. What if radical love says you have to? What if I love you so much that I can't bear the thought of anything bad happening to you? Doesn't that mean that I'm required to pay attention to what's going on around me, to be involved in what's happening? And that means when it comes time for that vote to happen, I got to go, that one will hurt Lavette. That one will hurt Joni. This one won't hurt anybody. I'm going with that one. Doesn't it mean we have to? Mm-hmm. Don't we have to become responsible for one another? Doesn't love call us to that? Doesn't it say stop hiding in the shadows? Stop worrying about what people say you can't be. Start being who I say you are and go and do this thing. See, it keeps coming back to love all the time. If we really love one another, we can't sit back and watch all of the crap that happens. We have to be the people that go, no, that don't work for me, and here's why. You don't get to treat children bad. You don't get to treat adults bad. You don't get to do any of this. Why? Because it's wrong. People, church don't belong in politics. Politics don't belong in church. This one wears me out. Radical love makes politics a part of us, because if you really love one another, you can't just sit back and watch the political world explode. You can't just sit back and watch the things happening. Just be quiet about it. Oh, that's somebody else's job. No, that's your job. Because you can't sit back and let other people be harmed. What is our greatest call? To love one another. Why can't your family see you? I don't know. Maybe because love isn't burning bright enough yet. Maybe it was there and they've turned the light out because they've been hurt or they've been let down. And so they just can't anymore. So if they can't anymore, then by God, you can't either. Maybe it's that kind of thing. It doesn't matter. Who they say you are isn't who holy says you are. And holy says you're people that have been called into holy action. Spit on you, sorry. Into holy action. And what is holy action all about? Love. It's a radical love. That's why the hometown didn't get it. That's why they couldn't see him. That's why they could only keep going, you're the dude we play ball with. Whatever. Because the truth is, when radical love does start wrecking us, it does wreck us. It changes you. Things you might have been quiet about at one time, because my mom likes to point out that I never was this political. It's because I just voted and talk about it. Things you maybe were quiet about at one time, there's like this righteous fire in your belly. And it's love going, we can't let this happen. We can't keep letting this happen. How are we doing this? How are we destroying one another? What is wrong with us? Radical love. And it shakes everything up. It shakes families up sometimes. It shakes church up sometimes. Because some folks in the church, they want to come to church. They want to start at 11 o'clock. They want to be out by noon. And they want the preacher to be normal. Y'all, that just ain't going to work. Sorry. I'm not normal. So if you're called to radical love and you go home or you go any communities and they can't see you, they can't see the message that you're bringing, they can't understand because they know you or because they're just closed off, what are you supposed to do? Same chapter of Mark, famous verse. Jesus, right after the event with his family in his hometown, he calls the 12 and he gives them a mission. You go, 2 by 2. You go. And you heal the sick. And you feed the hungry. And you help the poor. You do it. He wasn't saying, I have to go with you and do it. You go do it. Oh, and by the way, if you enter a place and they don't hear you, shake the dust off and move on. Taylor Swift, shake it off, shake it off. I can't sing like Taylor. Y'all out of luck if y'all wanted that. Now, some say that because Jesus had just experienced what happened in his hometown, that was the reason this ends up being a thing for the disciples. But really, I'm kind of wondering, even if he hadn't experienced that, would he have said, if they don't welcome you, keep moving, shake it off, it'll be fine. Because why would you stay and try to force people to be in community with you? Why would you try to force people to love you? At some point, you have to go, okay, holy, I've done all I can. You got to do the rest. So whether you're the person that's going and they don't want to hear you, or you're the person that is not wanting to hear, Jesus has spoken to you in Mark chapter 6. Your stubbornness can prevent holy from moving. Your inability to be moved by radical love can keep things from happening in your presence. Healings, blessings, whatever. Why? Because the barrier is there. If you're a person who has been told, you can't do that, you can't be that. I know you, I grew up with you. There's no way. Shake that off too. Because it doesn't matter what they say. It matters what Holy says. And we say this a lot too. And Holy says you're perfect just the way you are. Holy says you're beautiful. And Holy says you are loved. Shake the rest of it off. And all the people said,
Amen.